Good evening, and thanks for always keeping a date with us on the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program that gives you up-to-date news about the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, as well as the opportunities in the Nigerian agricultural sector. In the last couple of months, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has engaged different stakeholders in the sector to discuss issues pertinent to the development of agriculture in Nigeria. In this episode of the program, we shall review some of these events, reminding us of the issues discussed, the policies disseminated, and some resolutions adopted. But before the review, let's take some news of happenings around the agricultural sector. I'm your host, Gabriel Ojile. I'll be right back after the short break. Keep watching.
What we did here is mechanized.
It's back to land, back to agriculture.
I can supply the milk factories for milk.
That's the new norm for employment and for wealth creation. Get your piece of the action.
Before farming, we will spread the manure.
There to take on agribusiness.
They have been working in terms of making sure they give us new breeds.
Seize the opportunity you have been waiting for. Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, showing every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on the NTA network service.
In our lineup tonight, federal government distributes grains to less privileged. Delta State to construct over 30-kilometer routes in agrarian communities. In the bid to cater for the less privileged Nigerians during the Ramadan, Easter and Salah festive seasons, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate release of 40,000 metric tons of assorted grains from the Strategic Grains Reserve to be distributed to the less privileged to celebrate the festivities. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting with President Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Abubakar says that the gesture by the president is expressed to help reduce the impact of the high prices of grains in the market on the affected people. Mahmoud added that 12,000 out of the 40,000 approved tons will be allocated to the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development by the Ministry for distribution to internally displaced persons across the country. The minister further stated the same process used during the COVID-19 lockdown in 2020 to distribute 70,000 metric tons of assorted food items across some states and the Federal Capital Territory will be used in distributing the grains. As part of efforts to promote agriculture and improve the standard of living of rural dwellers in Delta State, the state government has approved the construction and rehabilitation of over 30 kilometers of roads to link rural agrarian communities across the state. The State Commissioner for Information, Charles Aniogu, disclosed this in Asaba while briefing newsmen recently on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting. Aniogu said the approvals were part of measures designed to urbanize and promote agribusiness in some communities in the 3 senatorial districts of the state. Aniogu listed some of the roads to include 2.05-kilometer Koko-Diagbena Road in Warri Southwest, 10.85-kilometer Ute-Opu Ute-Enugu Road in Ika Northeast, and 1.5-kilometer Ovie Palace Road in Mosoga, Ethiopia West. Others are the Utua Aliogo and Utua Ititi roads in Udokwa West, 4.9-kilometer Obiara Bethel Road in Isoko South, and 1.2-kilometer Abia Ezionu Road. He added that there will be also 12-kilometer internal roads in Uwero Ugeli North, which would cut across 8 agrarian communities. The federal government, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, remains committed to the diversification of the nation's economy from oil to the non-oil sector, with agriculture taking the lead. To actualize this diversification, the ministry over time plans, engages, and implements policies to make agriculture the mainstay of the nation's economy. These engagements within the last 4 months and their impacts on the agricultural sector will be our focus tonight. Keep watching.
In an effort to make agriculture the mainstay of the nation's economy and ensure food security in Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development embarked on drafting a national agricultural technology and innovation policy that will drive the agricultural sector between 2022 and 2026. To make the policy stakeholders oriented, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in December 2021 organized a national stakeholders validation meeting on the draft National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy, which sets a stage of expectations for 2022 and beyond. The event, which held in Abuja, attracted critical stakeholders like farmers, lawmakers, directors, researchers, financial institutions, among others, to make their inputs on the policy. The National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy, upon approval, will enhance synergy between ministries, departments, and agencies, knowledge creation and transfer, access to funds, more crop and animal productions.
The draft National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy that is being validated today will enhance access to improved inputs and linkages among research and teaching institutions, improve on the level of agricultural mechanization, fast-track extension services delivery, create access to finances, and ensure the security of agricultural land and other investments that are agro-based.
The National Assembly also pledges support for the National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Policy in terms of making laws that would ensure sustainability of the policy and prevent policy somersault by successive governments.
What should prevent this policy somersault is legislation. And legislation should be something that whichever government comes will take off from what is on ground. Not necessarily someone will come and one day change the whole thing and go back to square one.
Similarly, in a bid to make the dairy subsector of the Nigerian agricultural sector more viable, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, in collaboration with other stakeholders, are also making effort to draft a new national policy for the subsector. During the National Dairy Policy Validation Workshop organized in Abuja by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, stated that the policy, when approved, would enhance production, marketing, and regulation of the dairy subsector.
It will give defined direction for the country's dairy industry, where all players at whatever scale will be expected to abide by rules of operation in terms of production, processing, and marketing of dairy products in Nigeria.
The workshop provides a platform for key players in the sector like Ministry of Trade and Investment, Central Bank of Nigeria, researchers, pastoralists, among others, to share ideas in formulating the new policy. In a bid to mitigate the effect of climate change on farmers and agricultural production, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, within the first quarter of 2022, trained over 200 women farmers in the North Central Zone on climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies. Aside the training, the ministry also supported women farmers with cooking gas cylinders and encouraged them to use gas for cooking instead of firewood, which results in desertification arising from indiscriminate felling of trees for firewood.
You will agree with me that most of our women, particularly in the rural areas, use firewoods. And it is one of those things that we are protecting against. People fall these trees, and this is part of what is causing desertation. And so we are encouraging them to stop falling trees. Rather than use these trees as firewoods, we are encouraging them to use these cooking stoves.
Farmers who participated in the training were full of appreciation for the ministry's effort.
With this now, I know it will have a positive impact on my life, that my health will not be affected. from firewood now, I will move to using this stuff.
In the first quarter of 2022, 13 mega rice pyramids were unveiled by President Muhammadu Buhari at the International Trade Fair ground in Abuja. The 1.5 million bags of rice paddy stacked in 13 separate pyramids were collections from farmers who benefited from the Anchor Borrowers Program of the federal government. The event attracted dignitaries like the President, governors, the Central Bank Governor, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Labor and Productivity, Minister of Information and Culture, officers and members of Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, RIFAN, among others.
The program speaks loudly.
Speaking at the occasion, President Muhammadu Buhari expressed delight over the success of the Anchor Borrowers Program, which has provided farmers access to finance and indeed upscaled the production of crops and livestock in Nigeria.
The Anchor Borrowers Program has so far supported over 4.8 million smallholder farmers across Nigeria for the production of 23 agricultural commodities, including maize, rice, oil palm, cocoa, cotton, cassava, tomato, and livestock. Today, rice production in Nigeria has increased to over 7.5 million metric tons annually. Prior to the introduction of Anchor Borrowers Program, the average production in Nigeria between 1999 and 2015 was less than 4 metric tons annually.
During the occasion, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, who champions the Anchor Borrowers Program, commended the commitment of smallholder farmers in utilizing the Anchor Borrowers Fund for rice and other productions.
The resilience of our smallholder farmers all over the country and interventions of the Central CBN continue to ensure the production of the needed foodstock for the population. Your Excellency, sir, permit me to commend our Nigerian smallholder farmers once again, and the leadership of the various commodity associations for their diligence, for their bravery, patriotism, and adaptability.
In a related development, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, also unveiled 21 maize pyramids in Kaduna within the period under review.
Other pyramids.
Speaking at the occasion, the Apex Bank boss, Godwin Emefiele, who was represented by the Director, Development Finance Department, Philip Yila Yusuf, commended the Maize Association of Nigeria and President Muhammadu Buhari for their unwavering support to the CBN to implement the Anchor Borrowers Program.
Mr. President has consistently championed the Anchor Borrower Program, and he has given the Central Bank all the support required to be able to work with all stakeholders in the agricultural sector to ensure that we achieve this rapid transformation in the agricultural value chain. I'm also pleased to be here at the unveiling of the Maize Association of Nigeria Pyramid, and this is a testimony and the endorsement of your effort to contribute to food security in Nigeria.
At the occasion, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Mahmoud Abubakar, who was represented by Northwest Zonal Director of the Ministry, Timkat Vontab, stated that in addition to the Anchor Borrowers Program, the Ministry would continue to support smallholder farmers to boost food production.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development will also continue to support smallholder farmers as they have been identified as the engine room for the achievement of sufficient food production in Nigeria.
In the first first quarter of 2022, the federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, flagged off the distribution of agricultural inputs to smallholder farmers in Plateau and Osun states. Inputs distributed include improved seeds, growth enhancers, sprayers, and other farm equipment to smallholder farmers to support them for continuous production. The minister flagged off the distribution in Plateau State.
My ministry designed a support program targeting smallholder farmers to enable them to get back to their farms and continue production to sustainably rebuild their production activities and their means of livelihood. This is to enhance farming family income, create jobs, and generate wealth.
The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, represented the minister at the ceremony in Osun State. While delivering the keynote address at the occasion, the Permanent Secretary noted that the farm inputs would be distributed to smallholder farmers in the state.
It is my belief that this rollout will open up investment opportunities, create jobs for stakeholders, and facilitate increased production, as well as food and nutrition security.
35% of the inputs would be given to women farmers, 15% to farmers who are physically challenged, and 50% to other smallholder farmers association in the state to increase food production. The farmers in both Plateau and Osun were full of gratitude to the ministry for the timely support from the ministry.
The program is transforming agriculture in Nigeria, and we are reviewing some of the major activities of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development towards the development of agriculture in Nigeria. In the first part of the program, we saw stakeholder summits, training workshops, input distributions, and unveiling of rice and maize pyramids. As we continue with the program, we shall take stock of some of the developments and policy decisions of the ministry that were taken and consolidated during courtesy visits to the minister. MOUs were signed and partnerships were strengthened. Keep watching.
A new training manual for extension agents that would be used to train cocoa farmers for more productivity of cocoa in Nigeria has been developed and presented to the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development.
And is the research
addressing journalists in Abuja after the handover of the training manual, the minister appreciated the committee and stated that the manual emanated from a well-researched findings and the ministry would make efforts to disseminate the findings to cocoa farmers. The ministry is also looking beyond production and making efforts to support value addition of cocoa.
It has brought out things that are causing hindrance in becoming even better than what we used to be. So with this, we will know what to avoid the pitfalls. This must have been discovered during this period of research so that we can avoid those and be just as good as any other country. In fact, Nigeria should be the best cocoa producing country in the world.
The All Farmers Association of Nigeria, also within the period under review, paid a solidarity visit to the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development and applauded the several financial interventions and policies of the Buhari-led administration in the agricultural sector. The All Farmers Association also recommended continuous collaboration between the farmers and the ministry. During the period under review, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development also signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigeria Meteorological Agency to disseminate climate predictions to farmers to boost food production and reduce losses as a result of the effect of climate change. During the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, who signed on behalf of the ministry, applauded the effort of NIMET over the years in predicting weather for farmers to know the amount of rainfall, the length of rainfall, and when to plant their crops.
Working with NIMET, we hope to use the weather information to develop crop calendars for our various crop value chains. Downscaling weather information to the farming community level will also enable our farmers access insurance products that will help them adapt and mitigate the effect of climate change. In furtherance of one of the objectives of the MOU, the ministry has installed 10 automatic weather stations to assist in data generation for early warning information to farmers.
The Director General of Nigeria Meteorological Agency, Mansur Bako Matazu, who signed on behalf of NIMET, stated that NIMET has published different bulletins on seasonal climate prediction in 3 major languages in Nigeria.
This is the English version that was released to the public by last 2 weeks, precisely by our minister on the 15th. And also we translated these products into the different three major languages, Asotele, I think Yoruba. We have the Igbo version here, and we also have the Hasashenyane in Hausa version.
Still on notable visits to the ministry, the Director General of Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoru, called to seek collaboration towards developing a bill to provide special funding for research institutions.
This issue of inadequate funding of research institutes is not peculiar to the agri sector. It's across the other sectors. The Minister of Science and Tech, that we signed an MOU with them, we should develop a bill that turns into a law that addresses the challenge of funding of research and development institutions.
The minister pledged the full support of the ministry to the development of the bill and any efforts that would address the issue of funding of research in Nigeria.
If you don't do research, you will not innovate. If you will not innovate, you will not develop. If you don't develop, you are just a sitting duck. Seriously.
Correct.
So, I think you have my support on this.
Also within the period under review, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Mahmoud Abubakar, inaugurated a 6-man committee to work on the implementation of the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Amended Act. The minister charged the committee to work assiduously to develop a roadmap for the implementation of ARCN Amended Act, among other responsibilities.
The committee members are tasked to 1. Develop a roadmap for the implementation of the ARCN Amendment Act 2021, identify, assess, and recommend competent individuals who can serve in the council in line with the provisions of the amended act. 3. Identify the salient issues in the new act with the aim of implementation and articulate and identify funding windows.
The chairman of the committee, Baba Yusuf Abubakar, on behalf of members of the committee, assured the Honorable Minister that they would deliver on the task given to them. Within the period under review, a geographic information system and national soil, plant and water laboratory located in Abuja was commissioned by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Mahmoud, as part of efforts to mitigate the effect of climate change, soil degradation, as well as enhance food production in the country.
The equipment has the capacity for analyzing large quantity of soil samples rapidly. The 4 laboratories will go a long way in expanding our soil testing capacity.
I must say that these are good foundations for positive results in the drive to diversify the nation's economy through agriculture. For herein lies great opportunity to create jobs, increase food production, and sustainable economy. We will keep to our promise of keeping you posted with the efforts of the ministry towards ensuring that this vision of diversification comes to pass. Join us again, same time, same station, next week. I'm Gabriel Ojile. Good night.